Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying for Airwego, one of the virtual airlines I'm part of, and we are flying the iFly 737 MAX 8. Great looking aircraft and a very nice simulation of the MAX 8. Also available in for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and 24. And we are currently at the Milan, what's it called, Malpensa airport, something like that. Let me have a look. Malpensa, yep. And we are flying down towards Napoli. So from LIMC to LIRN in terms of ICAO codes. And what else? We were still waiting for, I think, and now some of the air traffic has loaded in. So that's good. We don't have a lot though, so I'm not sure if it's... I think they're kind of starting to load in now. Yeah, now we're getting some more. I had to decrease it a bit. I had it on 100%, but it's a bit too much stuttering at different times, so it was time to bring it down. But at least we can hear some sounds, etc. now. We have a nice Singapore, probably a 7, or what is it? I think they have A350s. Let's see if we can spot which one this is. The S9V SMF 10,000 Airbus. So it's an A350. And we have the G Biffy. And as you can see from the exterior, a very beautiful aircraft. I do prefer the PMDG one, but this one isn't bad. One thing to keep in mind is this is a P3D version 5 native. Look at this engine. This looks really good for P3D, and it does have some of the details are pretty well done. So when you zoom in, it looks kind of crisp as well. So in that sense, it's actually very well done, and one of the few kind of P3D version 5 exclusives. Usually a lot of the P3D aircraft work in version 4 as well, but this is one of the few that was kind of exclusively developed for P3D version 5. And we have a nice normal Airwego livery. There's unfortunately no Italian livery, because they do have an Italian subsidiary, so we're using the UK one to fly a domestic Italian flight. It was between this one and I was thinking of flying the freight with the Just Flight BA E146, but I decided it would be nicer to fly the MAX 8. It's just an easier aircraft to fly generally, and I did fly it a couple of weeks back from Sweden to Finland, so I felt like I really wanted to do a flight. I did one that I didn't record. Flew a bit in India with Spice Express, and just to kind of get my bearings. Not that this aircraft is that much different than the 737-800, but I thought it would be good to get used to it and some of the quirks. But I mean, generally it works kind of fine. I think it's only like the flaps that I have to have a separate button just to get it to go to 0. I've already set up the viewpoints, so those should all be somewhat reasonable. Pretty nice at least. Few different ones. We can put one for the exterior. I don't know what it is with the iFly one, but it looks a bit tiny. It's not that wide, but maybe that's how the real one is as well. But it looks a bit weirdly proportioned. That's always been my criticism. But apart from that, it's of course a good looking aircraft. So to get started, we can start with loading all the stuff. We can add the chokes, the electric, and the different safety cones. I don't think those were added when I did my walk around. Now they are included here, and we have the GPU. So that's good. Apart from that, we can jump back in and we can go to let me just see if we don't need to do panel style. We can do the refuel, but I think the best way to do this is by going to performance, weight and balance. This is gonna give us the performance. We can put this info in. But before we do that, I'm just gonna start the battery. Check that we don't have any HUD, not a big fan of that. Start the ground power. You can see these huge screens that we have in front of us. I always like to switch this one away. I like the bigger map to be here on my side. We don't need to do anything with that. We don't need to do the yaw dampener yet. We can align these first. And then put that on. I think we can also put the windshield on. Do the emergency lights, arm those. No smoking is on. Keep that on steady, keeping the rest of the lights off. I'll have to check these values. The rest looks pretty okay for now, since we're only on external power. There's not much else to do up here. We can of course check if this one works as it should, and it does. We can also quickly just check some of these different test buttons, and they do seem to be working as is supposed to be working. So that's good. In order to get flying, we need to though check our flight plan and load up our plane. We're gonna fly with almost 12,000, 11.9. So we'll use the main tanks. For some reason they are all in kilos. We don't want them in kilos, we want them in pounds. I was pretty sure I had fixed that already, but sometimes it doesn't seem to wanna save everything, which is a bit annoying. It's not the most intuitive either, this one. That's one of my main criticisms. So let me see, system page, I think it's sim menu, panel style, here we go, general. So we're using the US systems. Independent nose wheeling, or nose wheel, not wheeling. You can just check that we have all of this set up properly. So far it's looking pretty good. It's always good to double check. Yeah, we can be on the US system for that. CDU. Let me just check quickly. Other systems. You can keep realistic alignment. I can keep this on simple mode, doesn't really matter, it's just a parking brake. And then let me see, we can keep the display units a bit slower, that's gonna be fine. And now we can go back to performance, weight and balance, and we should be able to put this in pounds, which is the case as of now. So we can do 5950, 5950, and that's gonna give us 11.9, which is sufficient. We can set the fuel, make sure it's the right fuel there. We can then go to packs. We want to have a zero fuel weight of 128.1. So I usually just start by filling these ones up to the brink. It's probably gonna go a bit over, but we can always go down. So we are a bit over now. I usually decrease a bit here, then a bit here at the back, and now we're at 129, and when I get down 0.9er, so we can do this one, I think. So 128, 2, 128.1. So that's kind of fine, I would say. Okay, so now we have the right values. The takeoff weight is looking correct as well with the flight plan. And we can start the boarding process. We're not going to be flying super high. It's saying 19,000, which seems crazy low, to be frank. It's a pretty long flight. It's a step climb. But I'm still not a big fan of that that low altitude. That's not gonna work, I think. So what I usually do is I'll take the Simri flight plan that we have, and I'll just edit and give us a higher clearance. That usually works quite fine. So let's see. Yes, something's off here. It's giving us a really slow block time. 9 hours and 45 minutes. That seems a bit silly. Let's see. What's 9, maybe 33,000 should be fine. Let's check what it's gonna tell us. Still quite a long route, 470 nautical miles. It's not the shortest, but 33,000 is gonna make it go a bit faster. It does suggest though a higher fuel, so that's something to keep in mind. So what we'll need to do is I'm just gonna check. We just need to tweak the fuel a bit, I think. Zero fuel weight is gonna be mainly the same. A bit higher actually, which is also interesting. Okay, so back to tweaking this one. Great time. Usually doesn't take too long though. So 6 to 0 0, 6 to 0 0. And then the payload, we want to get this one up a bit, and I'm just gonna double check. It's saying 139.2, so we can definitely force this one up quite a bit. I think it spawns it a bit automatically, which is why you get these different values. And we still need to go up quite a bit. Cargo. Let's do 4,000 there. 5,000 here. Okay, we can go down a bit. 3,000 there. So 139.2. 4,600. Let's see. .3. 2,900. 2,085. Okay, there we go. .2. So now we at least have a somewhat correct. The only thing that sucks a bit, you don't have any charts, etc. on this one. You do have the airport map though, so we can put that data in just to kind of see where we are, where we're taking off. We're taking off from 16 left, so it's gonna be this one, 17 left according to this one, old data. all data. Well, we want to do the performance one. And we do fortunately have, and I'm gonna check how much the VX actually, yeah, it's very similar to the one we get from our virtual airline system, so that's good. But what we can do now is we can start the boarding. So I'm just quickly putting in all the data in pack X. We don't have the max, but we do have the normal Boeing. We can do around 82 in that system just to speed it up a bit. Boarding music, we should have something for Airwego. Same with safety. So we can start that. We can also request boarding within the sim. So we should be getting stuff happening now. One thing we'll need to do is, however, to open the doors. So getting all of these opened. We don't need to attach the pushback tug. We don't need any crew. And how's it generally looking here? Looking pretty good. Some traffic. Possibly that's a Fly UK aircraft, I think, yeah. It's looking pretty good, the weather. A bit of cumulus clouds. But generally looking very nice. It's a very nice airport, the Aerosoft Milan. Or I at least think so. Some flat stuff, right? Vehicles here, etc. So it's not perfect, but it is as good as it will get in P3D. I do wonder how the Airfoil Labs 737 MAX 8 is gonna be. I'm gonna assume very nice if I get it for X-Plane, but I don't really feel a need as long as I have the iFly one. It's pretty good, the iFly one. We can already do this one just so I don't forget to do it later. It's dry. Wind conditions. 210 at 7. Outside air temp 27 degrees Celsius. 1020. Let's check what the online flight plan tells us to put on these. The rated 1, flaps 5. We can do aircon on, that one off. Now let's check the rest of the values. It's interesting how the iFly and the 737 by PMDG both have this kind of incorporated EFB, which isn't that common. Well, then in Microsoft Flight Sim, at least PMDG changed it, but iFly kept theirs. So that's interesting. In terms of our takeoff, it's going to be 151.2, so 151.200. Give or take. Weight and balance. I didn't check that actually. Can we see? We're definitely not at the maximum takeoff. We're a bit above the maximum landing, I think. And that's... Or let me see. Maximum takeoff. Maximum landing. Maximum zero fuel. Or is that minimum zero fuel? Trying to understand how the envelope is functioning, but okay, should be fine. I think, at least. I think these ones are showing. So are we a bit below then? Yeah, it looks like we're a bit below the maximum. So that's good. on all of those. Let's go back actually to performance. We can complete that. So 256, that's the main question. Is that aligned with what we have? And I'm gonna assume it is. So we'll calculate these values and we got 524 on the trim. So we can get that down a bit. And then we have the rest of the data that we need to insert. But let's do this baby steps. We'll put this on the legs page. Sucks that I can't use my hardware yet with this one, but they have promised that this should be incorporated, so I have my hopes. We'll do the position one. We can do the left one. We can do the route. It's a very good looking cockpit on this aircraft. In terms of Napoli, we don't have a payware one, but I have a freeware version that works reasonably well. And let me see now, is it 17 left we are taking off from? Or is it not? Let me have a look. Did they change with the 35 right? Well, look at that. Yeah, let's check if that makes any difference. 35 right. Basically none. Okay, so small differences in that we're now taking off a bit closer, I would say, but nothing super close. Still have to taxi all the way down here or down this way. So we're just taking off in the opposite direction. I guess there was a change in the wind recently. Let's have a look on the outside. I think we can close the cargo base. We'll do the pilot to ADC one first. We're landing at runway 6. We're gonna fly above the sea actually for most of this flight, which is a bit funny. Or maybe it makes sense, right? To not disturb the populace. But what I thought, well, maybe it is the most sensible. How's the SID looking? Okay, not too bad. So it should be fine. The question is just the approach. I guess you can do an ILS. So we're coming in at Oleva, so if we do this one, we can just do a straight in with the Oleva transition. So we can activate that, we can validate, and we can file. Since this will be a longer flight, I'll probably have a bit of a break here once we're reaching cruise altitude. Let me see how long this video is as well, if I do pause and just kind of show the approach. It might be sufficient, it's not that long. And here we have the beautiful, is it Vesuvius, right? Look at this level of detail you get from the, it's crazy. Yeah, amazing. I think they have like a stratovolcano also here at the bay, right? So there's a lot of volcanic activity. Let me move this one down, I'll connect to the sim. It was funny though, because when I flew Norwegian back to Stockholm from Finland, I managed to just get a glimpse of the cockpit, and it's so tiny, the buttons, everything. I don't know why I always thought it was bigger, right? When you're like watching it from a screen, but it's a tiny thing.
50 local winds are 207 at 7.
Okay, we'll not use the radio for now. We don't need it, to be honest. The important part is getting, so we're gonna do the Farah 6-4. Oh, and we're not doing that runway. Wait, are we doing 35 left? Which one did I put? Did I put, yeah, 35 left. So we're doing 35 left. Why did I say 35 right? That's an embarrassing mistake. Let's change this. Okay, so we're flying from 35 left. No difference in trim, which is the only value we have changed thus far. Yeah, Farah 6. Okay, now it makes more sense. We're flying to Farak, and after Farak we are flying... Huh, we're getting two different... let me see when I ask for clearance. Airwego 4003, ready to copy, IFR clearance.
Airwego 4003 is cleared to Lima India Romeo November climb via
Yeah,
the
look
FAR
at
6
that.
Alpha departure with the LAG-5U transition, then as filed. Expect departure
Oh,
runway
sorry, the
tree
Lux to 5
left.
transition.
Climb to flight level 190 via the departure.
Maybe it's
Expect
just,
higher
yeah, I'm seeing
clearances
some
5
different.
minutes after departure. Milan radar control on
Or maybe Lux was the
126.75.
old...
Squawk 3160.
okay, but no biggie, no biggie, we can do this. We can make it work. We should be at Lagan. We are at Farak.
Airwego 4003 is cleared to Lima, India, Romeo November climb via the Forest 6 Alpha departure with the LAG-5U transition.
So we
Then
should
as
then have
filed.
Tonda
Climb
and
to flight level
Lagan. The question is,
190 via the departure.
where do we get
Expect
that
higher clearances
Tonda from?
5 minutes after departure. Milan radar control on 126.75.
But I'm gonna add
Squawk
it
3160.
in here.
Airwego 4003, read back correct QNH is 1020. Let us know when you're ready for pushback.
And I'll go and
QNH is
after Lagan
1020 Airwego 400.
we're doing the L50 airway to ELB. I guess it makes sense then our route flying the different airways. 7 to 9 PN Zulu, and that's gonna be our PN Zulu 1, and that's the same on both our... Okay, it seems like most of our boarding is complete. I'm wondering about Pack X, but let me expedite it. So we're doing the YILS with the PNC, that one with the Oleva. I don't think we should have any discontinuities. Let's see. It's looking correct. We can activate and execute. Pilot to ADC is ready. I hate the fact that the sound cuts out when you click outside the screen. I would hope they had fixed that somehow, but oh well. In order to get that stupid beeping, I'm just gonna make sure we close all the entries, so GSX won't be harassing us. We can also start the APU. It's a bit different, right? You don't see it up here, but you rather see it. And that's a good question. System. I actually have no clue where to see the APU now. But I guess you'll know it's on when that one shows that it's on. You would think there would be an APU here somewhere. It's gonna probably say APU available, right? But okay, not the end of the world, but different. Okay, so 139.2 for the 0 fuel weight. 2 reserves on that. 5 in cost index. Cruise altitude 33,000 with a 029 at 15 wind. ISA dew point +6. And one limitations, I think we're doing the rated one with a selected of 51. I wonder how that aligns with our flight plan suggested temp. That's 47, so a bit lower actually. In terms of the weather, we don't have any warnings. There's some icing, but that's east of our route, so generally it's looking fine. So now in terms of the takeoff, we know we have flaps 5. What was it, like 25.6 for the CG? Yeah. These winds. We can just put those in. 141, 139, 40, 48. Okay, there we go. And execute. So we're basically ready. We have the APU ready now as well. We can make sure that's on. Seatbelt signs can go on. Anti-collision light. What are we missing? We gonna remove that. We do need to add the squawk, etc. So 3160. I'm gonna put that on just so we have it. We're climbing to 190 just from the get-go. So the same altitude we would have had originally. Flight directors can go on. We have the master one here. We can use this if we want, but let's keep it as this for now. Maybe for the descent it's good to show the vertical profile. TFC should be on. And everything else is looking kind of ready. So we are now just gonna kind of get stuff disconnected. I'm actually first off gonna make sure that the ground power is disconnected. I am then gonna remove all of that for some reason, or maybe they did remove now the, maybe it wasn't the orange ones. Or that I'm just going crazy, maybe they are the orange ones, maybe when we're getting pushed back they'll be removed. Airwego 4003, ready for pushback. So we're gonna ask for pushback.
Airwego 4003 pushback approved.
We'll undock the jetway.
Pushback approved, Airwego 4003.
We'll start to get everything kind of readied. I've never been to this airport though. I've only been to, at least in terms of consciousness, to the Rome airport in Italy. So there's quite a few places to visit here. I was gonna go to Sardinia, but then fortunately COVID-19 hit. So that was my honeymoon. Okay, we can't still do the auto brake, so wait with that. Everything else has been tested and looking fine. We have my iPad charged, and I have the charts for Napoli on that one. We can put this one up to around 230, which I usually like. Anything else that we need to do? We need to put those on after engine start. And I'm ready to be pushed back. So that's good. Okay, I guess he's setting it all up.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
And we're already on 35 minutes. Yeah, just for the setup. Crazy, the type of games people will play, me, myself included.
Locking gear.
Okay, so we should be getting the push back soon. Looks like the flight plan is also loaded correctly. Nose right.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wheel.
Okay, we are ready to roll. Starting the right engine. We also don't have a screen here like the 737-800, which is a bit different. Gonna switch that to idle. I have some nice viewpoints. So it's motoring now. It's quite a slow process to start these engines compared to the 800. I'm just quickly gonna update this one. Sorry about that. The sounds are... Okay, we have engine starting. Is it 300 the landing altitude? Could be. But I do not remember it being... So let me see the Y one. Yeah, it's 300. That makes sense. Okay, the right engine has started. I'll confirm the good engine start.
Unlocking gear.
Unlocking gear. Oh yeah, we need to go idle. So I was a bit fast with the right one and slow with the left one. Let's have a look on the... Yeah, here we can see the left engine. We should now be able to... Yeah, now it's working. We can put the flaps in as well to flaps 5.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
I'm just gonna check quickly. Yeah, elevators seem to be working. Aileron, spoilers, etc. Rudder is working as well. Some issues with my hardware ones. They're probably taking a beating, so the right one is a bit off. Okay, bye bye. Airwego 4003, ready to taxi. You can put those on. Auto, close, close. Put those on. Shut the APU. Okay, we
Airwego
are
4003 runway tree 5 left. Taxi via taxiways Yankee,
basically
Kilo,
ready.
Zulu, Juliet, Golf Whiskey, Golf Echo, hold short runway tree 5 left.
Okay, so we got a really
Runway
long
tree 5
clearance.
left. Taxi via taxiways Yankee, Kilo, Zulu, Juliet.
But it's
Golf
just a lot of
Whiskey,
bouncing
Golf
back
Echo,
and forth.
hold short runway
Are we
tree 5
moving?
left,
We're
Airwego
heavy enough to
400.
not move with idle, so I'm gonna add a bit of thrust. In terms of everything else, it's looking fine. Still no Okay, there we go. A bit of movement now. Gonna add a bit more thrust. I guess we're quite heavy for such a short flight. Okay, and we can see here kind of our details, etc. So that's cool.
The cabin is ready.
And let's see, we don't need the system one, so we can do like that. Okay, so we are taxiing. Seeing a bit of traffic here. And there. Let's see. Try to figure out what that livery was, but no way, Jose. You can see we have some traffic coming into land and departing, so that's cool. Sorry, LNAV and VNAV, we can arm those. We wanna turn right here. It's very nice to taxi this aircraft, so I'll give it that. FPS wise it's been working fine, but let's see once we're up in the air. We wanna turn left here. We wanna arm the auto throttle. Here's the auto throttle activation button. The hidden one on the glare shield. We are turning left here. We'll then turn right and then continue down. Okay. Looking pretty nice. So far so good, in other words. We're taxiing a bit fast, almost around 30 knots. Let's keep a bit of eyes on that. And now it wants us to take a bit of a strange routing. Let's just follow it, 'cause I just want to see what its thinking is. But it wants us to follow this routing. Could be that it's correct though. It's just always a bit weird when you do a bit of a detour. But here we go. We're soon gonna get the tower handover. And I'm gonna prepare the position lights. The landing lights. We can just keep them on, that should be sufficient. I'm gonna check that the seatbelt signs are on.
Airwego 4003, contact Malpensa Planning Tower on 120.9.
Left is looking clear, I
Tower
think.
on 120.9er, Airwego 4003.
Okay, let's call for takeoff clearance. Airwego 4003, ready for takeoff. Oh, and one thing we shouldn't forget is the clock. We shouldn't forget the weather radar, and last but not least the terrain radar. Airwego 4003, ready for takeoff. Yeah, let's see if we're getting
Airwego 4003 winds are 207 and 7 knots.
3160, yes.
Runway tree 5 left cleared for takeoff, squawk 3160.
And let's just take off kind of directly.
Runway tree 5 left cleared for takeoff. Squawking
can
3160 Airwego.
do this
400.
engine, I think. That will be a nice viewpoint. Let's have a look. Does seem like that one is about to cross, so we gotta just be aware of that. Hopefully it's not taking off. That would be a bit annoying. And it looks good, we're on the right runway. We can start to charge up. Go N1, LNAV and VNAV armed. We are taking off. A bit to the right of the, or left of the central line though, so that's not good. Airspeed is alive. So let's try to get back on the center line. 80 knots checked. 100 knots checked. Rotate. I just gotta be a bit careful so we don't hit the tail. Positive rate of climb. Gear is coming up. So far so good. Bye bye Milano. We're on our way to Napoli. Okay, still looking good. It's very nice with all these trees here. It's gonna be a bit laggy. This is one of the more intense environments to fly in terms of the computer. Okay, let's see. We're gonna start retracting the
Airwego
flaps.
4003, contact Milan radar control on 118.8.
Now I just realized I didn't even think of
Radar control on 118.8 Airwego. 400.
yeah, 3012. That's or sorry,
Radar control.
God,
Airwego,
totally
400. 3 climb.
bumming out there.
Flight level 190.
What did we have? We did have
Airwego
1020.
4003, good morning.
So let's just put that in so we have it aligned. Okay, almost flap 0, but now we're gonna go to 0 completely. So far so good, very nice looking. This is, I think Northern Italy is Mattia's kind of best freeware photoreal. It's very good looking. Almost at the same level as a True Earth. Okay, we are gonna be turning left. We can shut some of these lights already.
Airwego 4003, contact Milan Center on 124.9
I think it's the amount of trees. It's just been very well generated.
Center on 124.9 to Airwego 400.
We can close that EFP for now. Still climbing.
Center Airwego 400.
We'll
3
trim a
climbing.
bit.
Flight level 190.
Trying to find that right spot.
Airwego 4003, good morning.
Okay. Let's trim it down a bit. Yeah, looking very nice now actually. I think we can take a nice thumbnail from this. Yeah. Can't lose the opportunity when you have the nice Alps in the background. It's always gonna look amazeballs. Okay, let's see. We're above 10,000. I think it's time to let our passengers relax. It's also time for us to take a break. Put on the autopilot. Have a look. 1 hour and 40 minutes. So it will take a bit of time before we Let's go to standard. Put that to off. And let's just see that we get higher clearances, and then I'm gonna put it up to 33,000. But yeah, as you can see, it's looking very nice actually. Need to get some more airports here. I'm not sure which ones they do have. There's definitely one for Linate. I found a freeware one that looked pretty nice, but I couldn't get it to work. So Linate, I think, is made by Jetstream's design. Then we have Turin Cassel, which is the RF scenery. That's true, RF scenery has a lot. Okay, let's see, we're gonna be flying a bit faster now. Hopefully that will eat up some of the time. Now it's only 1 hour and 30 minutes left. Still climbing, still looking good. So let's see. And we've been able to change the frequencies nicely, or the co-pilot has. Okay, lights are off. The rest of the lights that are on are supposed to be on. Everything is nicely set up. We won't have any failures, I think, at least. We're following the flight path. Question is just, are we getting higher clearances, which I'm pretty sure we are. We're gonna fly Farak now. So let's just see. I'm gonna put this up to 33,000 already, just to make sure that it's actually following our flight plan. And we do have 33,000 set up here nicely. We can increase the range just to have a look that the flight plan looks correct, and it does look pretty nice. We're gonna pass 16,000, and actually we should check one small little thing, and that's the compass, which I think has now minimized itself. But okay, it's looking good. We have departed on time, etc. So that's nice. And it is recording.
4003 climb and maintain flight level 250.
250. So yeah, we are getting those higher clearances.
Flight level 250 Airwego.
So that's good. And I think with that said, since we still have over 1 hour left of this flight, I'm gonna leave you guys, and I'll be back to do the approach. Let me just check that we do pass 19,000. I've had it sometimes get stuck on like a previous altitude that I've selected, so I just want to make sure. Let's also see if we have any nice viewpoints. I think this one will be the nicest. See a bit of the nose, but also a bit of the flight plan. Okay, we're passing through 19,000 on our way to 33,000. So I'm gonna leave it at this, and I'll be back in a jiffy.
Airwego 4003 climb and maintain flight level 330.
Climb and maintain flight level 330 Airwego 4003.
flight maintain Pathfinder Amber. Seatbelt 75, bonjour, direct to Gagach. Direct to Gagach and request time 370, seatbelt 75. Good, thank you, seatbelt 75. Runner 2 and 3, Papa, confirmed you step on 78 operator. Merci, Krabba. Minimum 78, please. When 78 operator. Step on 78 operator, runner 2 and 3, Papa. Report to Mac 2 134 240. Report Mac 2 134 240 and 2 X-ray Papa.
Airwego 4003, contact Padova Control on 134.3.
Control on 134.3, Airwego 4003. Control Airwego 400, 3 level at flight level 330.
Airwego 400, 3 good morning.
Radar, Condor 5 with the Delta, discuss. Say again? Condor 5 with the Delta, is flight level 350 available? Condor 5 with the Delta, die was for that? Radar, hello, Ryanair 1, this is Bravo 5 Ever 35, good to Iraq. Ryanair 1, this is Bravo, bonjour, and on site. Direction Sovent. Sovent, Tenento 09. Tower 370, speedbirds and run.
Airwego 4003, contact Rome Center on 131.1.
Center on 131.1, Airwego 4. Center Airwego 4003 level at flight level 330.
Airwego 4003, good morning.
Bonjour, 550 Hotel, from flight level 140 to Lacao. Fire 50 Hotel, bonjour, from level 190. Flight level 190, 550 Hotel. Air 209, climb flight level 310. Traffic level 310, tonight 209. Direct Bravo technique von der Seite der Welt haben wir jetzt leider mit Ryanair 11 Alpha contact 660 to again, Ryanair 11 Alpha bonjour, and on side. Téléphone papa, report Mac number 2132-190, au revoir. 132-190 with the Mac number right at 8, telephone papa. level 330.
Climbing level 330 to NAS 209.
Radar Rainer 18 for Papa, can you say again the frequency for us? Stop, Papa. 12190. 12190, thank you, Rainer 18 for Papa, over. Bonjour, Channel 271, file level 370. Channel 271, bonjour, avec 2 Limoges. Avec Limoges, nous avons appris ligne 87 Alpha Bravo, contact 127860, goodbye. 127860, well in Alpha Bravo, goodbye. Condor 80 Delta, 13475, au revoir.
Climbing level 340 and 135240 to NAS 209. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
One from Yellow 40 over 350 Pepper.
Landing 181 from our Bravo, contact level 300 to reach infinity.
Which is a 3 minutes, 21 from Yellow. Bonjour, tu as 209, climbing level 340 to Sorrent.
Vers 209, 209, bonjour. Climb level 370.
Continue climb level 370 to NAS 209.
Rainer 89 Romeo Victor, direct to Tupa, contact airport flight number 122190, au revoir.
12291 Delta 90 direct to Tupa, Rainer 98 Romeo Victor.
decimal 7, goodbye. 1347, bye-bye, 60. Travel 6 November Roma, understood you are requesting flight level 400. Affirmative, Sky Travel 6 Romeo November. Sky Travel 6 Romeo November, Roger, Sky Travel 400. I have flight level 400, Sky Travel 4 Romeo November. Turkish 183, heavy rocket, left heading 2902 avoid. Turkish 183, Roger, P2. Running left heading 2902, Turkish 183, heavy.
There we go. The captain is back. Let's
Airwego 4003 expect the PNZ 1 Charlie arrival with the PNZ transition for the ILS Yankee approach to runway 06 with the Oliva transition at Capodichino Airport.
okay, we're soon gonna get our descent clearance, so that's good.
Expect the
Let's have a
PNZ
look
1 Charlie arrival with the
at
PNZ
our
transition
charts.
for the ILS Yankee approach to runway 06 with the Oliva transition Airwego 4003.
So Napoli ILS to runway 06. We are looking at a localizer of 110.15. But if I remember correctly, was there something wrong with the Napoli one? I always get a bit worried. Let me see, there's LIRN.
Here, and that's approved for Canada 57, thank you.
I just want to get down just to double check. 110.15 at 53. Okay. And let me check here. Yeah, we do want to reset that eventually, but we haven't gotten any. We're actually going to do LS, so 110.15. 110.15. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's gonna be error. 110.15 and 53 on both of these. Now look at that, we do have some nasty weather. Why didn't I? Should double check these things at some point at least, but I did not. Rookie mistake, as they would say. There we go. But yeah, looks like we have some nasty weather, but shouldn't be too bad. It's an offset localizer actually. That could explain why it's not gonna get us down completely, and why I assume there's no category 2, it's just a normal ILS with a minimum of 680 a barrow. So 680. We're soon at the top of descent, but not quite there. Let's put 680. Both are set, good. Missed approach is to climb on track 53 to 6,000 feet and then turn left.
Descend across PNZ at flight level 1905, then descend via the
And go to the
PNZ 1 Charlie
Sorrento.
arrival with the
Okay.
PNZ transition to cross Oliva at or above 5,000 feet QNH is
5,000
1014 at
feet.
Capodichino Airport.
Let's start
We'll cross
descending.
PNZ at flight level 195. Then
No
descend
point in
by the PNZ 1
waiting
Charlie arrival
any
with the
additional
PNZ
time.
transition to cross Oliva at or above 5,000 feet QNH is 1014 Airwego 400.
What's the weather at the airport? No rain. Looks pretty good. Looks like a clear skies. None reported. Okay, so maybe this is just en route weather. So as long as we get down timely, we shouldn't have any bad clouds covering our approach. Transition altitude is 8,000. I haven't checked yet what our what the altimeter is gonna be. Hopefully we can get that info. Nothing yet, but we should get it once we start descending. Now let me see, why haven't we started? Oh, there we go. So I just kind of got stuck. Well, at least we noticed that. The thing we'll have to double check is though the progression one, because we're gonna have quite a vertical deviation. In order to solve that, it might be wise to add a bit of speed brake. Yeah, but that's kind of the full setting. It's very nice to fly here around Napoli. It's very beautiful coast. I've heard it's also great for sailing, generally southern Italy.
Ukraine International 6311, contact 132150. Bye bye. 132150, International 6211, good day.
I think it's because it's close to the Amalfi Coast, right? So that's one of the main reasons why it's nice to sail down there. Very beautiful, very pretty. Still have a crazy high vertical deviation. We are on flight D10, so we are hopefully catching up. Let's have a look. It seems to have fluctuated a bit, so it's not the perfect vertical deviation, but it's pretty good. We'll soon ask the passengers to put on their seat belts. Might actually be worth to do it already now that I think of it. We'll just have to ask in pack X as well. Oh, it's on. Okay, good. Gonna zoom in a bit with the range. You can see kind of the approach. Quite interesting. You would think you would just go direct, but there's a bit of a U-turn here. Well, almost a U-turn, but then you kind of turn back right. Yeah, we're soon gonna be in the cloud layer with our nice iFly 737 MAX 8. It's a very nice cockpit, I must say. Probably the best one. I'm trying to think, is there anyone that's better in P3D version 5? Hard to say and hard to... I mean, this is a very finely made one. The PMDD one is also very good. But is it on par with this one? Hard to say. Okay, let's see. Our vertical deviation, we are quickly closing. We're descending quite rapidly, so that might explain why we're kind of making it. So I'm gonna stop with the drag, save our speed brake a bit, move it up. I'm gonna go to auto brake 2. We're just gonna do this. I'm not gonna calculate anything with the performance. It should be fine. Or I guess we have 100 nautical miles to go, so maybe it doesn't hurt to do the landing as well. It's very interesting how this one is very similar to the PMDG one, you know, just the feels. And they're still two different ones, right? Two different developers, kind of coming up with the same creation. Airwego 4003, say altimeter. I couldn't get that. That's annoying.
Will cross PNZ at flight level 1905, then descend via the PNZ 1 Charlie arrival with the PNZ transition to cross Oliva at or above 5,000 feet. QNH is 1014 Airwego 4003.
The question was in relation to, let's see, variable. So let's say 000 at 10 knots. I'm gonna check the 80s in compacts. So we have the arrival one, it's saying 1014. I'm gonna get some new meters. 1014. Oh, and look at that, we have some nasty rain. It's pretty cool though. I think you can see the rain here on the outside on the windscreen. And when you're using, I know we're flying a bit, I think, too hard to use the wipers, but it's still pretty cool how it kind of works together. Or is there a max flap, no sorry, not flap, but wiper speed? I always thought it was like 250 or something. And I guess there's not much use of it because of the speed, right? I mean, it looks quite clear. Okay, so 1014 was the... We can keep standard for now. 1014. Flap config, we're gonna go flaps full, aircon on, anti-ice off. We are gonna do auto brake 3. And we are... Let me have a look. If we add 5 for the VREF, normal 145, landing distance 6,300, and that should be fine. If I'm not mistaken, because the runway is definitely longer than that. Question is how much longer. Let's have a look if we can find that intel, hopefully somewhere, but it should be longer. Okay, here we go. It's 8,622 feet, so it's a short runway. So even with the 3 we're kind of edging. We're probably not going to be able to turn off until kind of the final one. That's good to keep in mind. It would be fun to do the ILS from the right at some point. Sorry, not from the right, for the runway 24. I guess you're coming in from the right. 'Cause that's also a very interesting one because you have the hills, etc. And look at that, now we are clear of the nasty clouds with rain. I think the Amalfi Coast is here, covered by the clouds as of now. We're at 13,000 feet. Progression wise, I think we are okay. So that's good to see. We are slowing down as we're getting closer and closer to 10,000 feet. Let's see how much. We have a bit of traffic here. I did do a flight to Napoli with the Tornado, right? So I have flown here before, but that was the only time. Okay, let's see. We are 11,000. Still good in the deviation. I think it's looking pretty good. About 30 minutes until we're supposed to land, which seems crazy considering that the airport is just over there, but it takes a bit of time here when we're getting closer. Okay. 10,000. Still no descent. I wonder when it's gonna start pushing us below. It is slowing down quite a bit. How slow are we supposed to go? Okay, quite slow actually. I'm gonna put on the landing lights. You can do the flash one. Find it though. Or I guess maybe it works better during the day as well. So you'll have one. So maybe you can keep it on flash. That should be it. Anything else we need to do? We still haven't been given clearance to or been handed over to the approach, which I find a bit funny. Seems to be a bit late. Since the weather radar is looking good, I'm going to change the terrain on our left one and weather radar on the right one. Should make things easier to, or maybe not easier, but should make it or should make more sense, just because it is a bit of terrain here. So it might be good to remind myself of that as I'm coming in for landing. Why do I have this viewpoint? Could this be like a GoPro viewpoint instead? Might be hard to. It's a bit hard to find. But this one was pretty good. I'm gonna save this as the right seat camera instead. So then we have the different. This one was okay, I think. Yeah, this will work. Okay, let's go down to 10 nautical miles. So we're gonna come in here, turn multiple times, and let's see. We should be. Yeah, you can see we have a bit of a pitch up in order to maintain our altitude at such a low. Well, yeah, at such a low altitude with. Or we're not maintaining, but we're descending, right? But since we need to create some lift, it's more noticeable when you're trying to maintain and you don't use, for example, flaps, right? Usually the aircraft will be pointing up a bit more. Then if you add flaps, it will kind of help ease that out, even if you have to add a bit more thrust then, because that's also drag, right, with the flaps. So both lift and drag. Okay, we're passing 9,000. Then we have 8. We should be at around 3,000, I think, for that. So I'm gonna put that in, because I have a feeling we might not get the approach handover. It has happened before. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again. So we're gonna put that in. Are we sure there's not gonna be any? Well, maybe they're a bit too far away. That's Vesuvius. You can see the, well, almost the kind of opening. It's a bit hard to see the details from this far out. I do wonder if we have the missed approach. Yeah, SOR hold. That's good. Okay, anything else to prepare? I don't think so. Still looking good. So far so good, in other words. Okay, let's see. We can turn off or turn on the runway and taxi lights. Can't hurt to have a bit more blinking stuff and lit up stuff. I don't think we're competing with any other plane for landing, at least by the looks of it. Yeah, there's very few planes here at Napoli. Not looking too bad either in terms of the terrain. So we're gonna turn in soon and then fly in here. The airport is around there. It's a bit of a hill right in front of it. Let me see what the clearance is on that one. So the island here, it's around 2,581 feet. And then the hill here is 1,746 because there's supposed to be a bit of a tower on it, I think. Some sort of radio tower. I'm basing all this info on a chart from November of 06, so keep that in mind. Jeppesen. Let me have a look at the speed now. We're 210, still looking fine. We're kind of turning into final. Let's remember it's a offset localizer. So we won't get in perfectly. We are below, so we can actually go to the local altimeter setting. Speed brake is armed. Same with auto brakes. How long have we been recording now? Almost 2 hours. It's quite a normal length for the videos I do. Maybe a tad bit too long to ever become YouTube famous. That's not the point of this channel anyway. It's more to showcase these different aircrafts and for myself as well, just to keep, you know, memories of different flights. Sometimes it helps myself to just have a quick look at them if I'm trying to remember how to fly, for example, one of the more complicated planes that I haven't flown in a while. Okay, we're turning in now onto final. Still nothing. Maybe we can do a radio check.
Center Airwego 4003 radio check.
Airwego 4003, you are loud and clear.
Roger. Thank you, Airwego 4003.
Even if we don't get landing clearance, I'm just gonna go ahead and land.
Center Airwego 4003.
Okay, we can put
request
on
ILS
the
approach.
approach.
To runway 06.
So we have the VR localizer.
Airwego 4003, you are 26 nautical miles southwest of the airport.
Okay, a bit of
QNH is 1014
flag.
cleared direct Oliva, then cleared for the ILS Yankee approach to runway 06 with the Oliva transition at Capodichino Airport.
I think it's time to start. I'm gonna quickly have a look. CRS error.
QNH is 1014 cleared direct Oliva, then cleared for the ILS Yankee approach to runway 06
5353.
with the Oliva transition at
Should
Capodichino
be
Airport.
fine.
Airwego 4003.
Some deviation. We're gonna add flaps 1. So look at this. Quite the view. I mean, this is just a photoreal, but imagine how this looks in real life. Okay, we're coming in for the landing. Coming in for landing, even as a passenger, must be kind of the best feeling. It's always nice, you know, you're coming to your destination. Even if it's home or you're going somewhere, it's always a nice feeling. Also in the sense that you have survived. the whole plane ride. Not that it's a huge risk, right? But it's I guess always on people's minds, specifically when you have accidents like the Air India one that just happened. It does become a bit more kind of present. I was actually gonna do a video specifically on that day, flying one of the flights I'd been flying on when I was in India a couple of months back, but decided against it. Didn't feel quite appropriate. Okay, we're getting more and more stuttering. I mean, it's loading in. It's a kind of high demanding aircraft, this one. Still looking pretty good. We are on the localizer. Okay, now we got the glide slope also. I'm gonna go to flaps 2. So we're just getting ready. Lights are set. Weather is looking very clear. We could actually go to take manual control of at least the throttles, I think. So let's start with that. We wanna slow down a tiny bit. So the throttles are now under manual control. Just gonna quickly have a look here. Yeah, this looks good. Around 138. Should be able to do that. You can see kind of how we're coming in a bit offset. Then we need to turn in. So let's keep that in mind. We can go flaps 5. That should slow us
Airwego
down.
4003 QNH is 1014
Even
at
more.
Capodichino Airport. Contact Naples Tower on 120.905.
And actually I'm wondering what's the offset.
QNH is 1014 tower on 120.9er. 5 Airwego 4003.
So it's kind of just before the final one.
Tower Airwego 400
We should turn
inbound
in order to
for
get
ILS approach runway 06.
to land. Okay, we can add a
Airwego
bit more thrust.
4003, good afternoon. Continue ILS to runway 06 call when established on final.
I'm gonna drop the landing gears
Continue ILS runway 06
and go to flaps
call
10.
when established on final Airwego 4003.
And adding a bit more thrust just to find some equilibrium, or I guess to counteract the further drag that we're adding. Let's go to flaps 15 and let's go flaps 25 already. We want to kind of get set up on final. We have the localizer and now also the glide slope, so let's start to slow down quite a bit. We're still on flaps 25. We want to go to flaps 30, but we might be pushing it a bit. There we go. Now we're going to flaps full. So let's see, are we getting any movement on that front? There we go. Had to kind of redo it. Okay, good. We don't have to follow the localizer that much longer, just a tiny bit. So I'm gonna zoom in a bit. So 5 nautical miles. I guess the reason why you have the offset is the hill here. It is quite, we're almost kind of at the level of the hill. Some weird autogen, it usually happens because of the mesh, etc. Maybe not matching completely. Can't see that weird radio mast now, but oh well. And I'm gonna add quite a bit of thrust now. Try to maintain. We're falling a bit below, which is of course never good. We can disconnect that. we're just gonna try to kind of fly so we are aligned with the runway. So my controls will slow down a tiny bit with the throttles. You can see we have a bit of a crosswind, so we might have to use a bit of right rudder just before touching down. Okay, adding a bit more thrust. I hope we don't get wind shear warnings, 'cause you always get it with this airplane. I think it's kind of built in. I've even had it when there has been no reason for it. Okay, but let's see now. Oh, and now we're too high, so that's great. We got too focused on the rudder instead.
Airwego 4003 winds are 006 at 6 knots.
Okay, let's see.
Cleared to land runway 06.
And we're gonna land even though that other airplane is taking
Clear to
off.
land runway 0.
I'm not in the mood to
4003.
deal with AI aircrafts that never take off, or that take forever to take off. Okay, we got landing clearance as well, so you know that goes above everything. Some weird here also with the autogen missing now once we're doing the approach. It does happen sometimes, so it's a bit strange. 200, 100. Oh, a bit of a bounce, but we're down. It wasn't a hard bunch though.
003 exit runway when able. Report clear of active.
Okay, whew, we did it. And we stopped much sooner than I expected us to stop, so I'll take that little win. Okay, let's brake. And let's turn here. And we didn't have to crash into an AI aircraft, so that was perfect. So welcome to Napoli. Yeah, very odd with the autogen. I really don't know. There's something in P3D that kind of, you know, makes it hard to load certain stuff when you come in for landing. I also have the mesh, if some of you watched the Detroit video. I only have it on landing. So that's why we have this missing area here. It works when you start at this airport, so it's strange. Airwego 4003, ready to taxi.
Airwego 4003 contact Naples ground on 121.9er for taxi clearance.
Okay, let's have a look at what the landing rate was on
Ground
that.
on 121.9er for taxi. Airwego 4003.
551. Was it that high? Potentially. I think Airwego though doesn't apply any landing rate, so it's the right airline to have a bit of a higher landing rate. I think the G-force weren't that bad though, but let's have a look. Airwego 4003, ready to taxi.
Airwego 4003 taxi to Gate Golf 1 via Charlie.
Golf
Taxi
1.
to Gate Golf 1 via Charlie. Airwego 4003.
Okay, so it's basically just straight ahead here. We don't seem to have any specific one that we can. Okay, so that's a bit weird. I wonder what Pack X is gonna show us in terms of landing rates. We have the APU generator on again. We can put that ready, open that. Close the normal packs. Or I guess we can keep those on actually. So yeah, pretty good scenery. This is a freeware airport, made I think originally for FSX, but that I have with some tweaking been able to get working in P3D. Not perfectly right, as you can see with the missing autogen, but a lot of things are working somewhat nicely. here as well, you can see it's not really working. You can't see all the stripes here for the parking. So it's definitely not perfect, but it's not the worst either. We'll park here on 56 next to the Eurowings aircraft. I think that should be good enough, and then we can kind of wrap up and submit this PyRep and watch the replay. So let's see. Okay, we are gonna slow down and brake. We parked a bit better than that Eurowings aircraft. Feels that it's a bit too far forward. It's an A319, right? Isn't it? AB. Yeah, AB. Must be this one. Even though it doesn't align with what's on there, but oh well. Big difference? Nope. Pretty cool with the open facilities here. So yeah, it's a pretty good freeware one. Not the best by any stretch, but it does the job. Okay, let's shut the engines, turn that off. We have the parking brakes, seat belt sign, and we can open the main door. I'm gonna close pilot to ADC first, and then let me see, submit PyRep. PyRep filed. So that should be fine. I'm gonna close the compass. I'm just gonna make sure we actually got it filed. I do in a sense like the ones that don't have a landing rate, just because it's generally just much nicer, because you know sometimes it doesn't register correctly either. I'm pretty sure I get 2 good ones at some points, and then at other points I get the worst ones. Okay, let's see, we can do seatbelt signs off, and now we have the deboarding. So let's see what this one says, 561, so that's even worse, hard landing. But okay, not the end of the world. Okay, let's close that, have a look at the replay. I'm gonna guess it's the first one down, that's the problem.
200. Don't sink. Don't sink.
So I flare
100. Don't sink.
basically too late. I do manage to crab, I think, a bit. I do use a bit of rudder there. But yeah, we landed too quickly. I think the G effects might not have been that bad, but what do I know? The second touchdown was better though. At least we got down. That's the important criteria. I really want to go to Napoli though. I mean, having that volcano towering over the city, that must be really cool. Damn, we landed quickly. Not bad. But yeah, that's it. Short and sweet. Well, short and short. 2 hours and 10 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave it down below. And otherwise, until next time. Bye bye.